So, what is going on, YouTube? Your boy Sam from TeamSamuraiX1 here, and today, guys, I'm coming at you with my brand new Time Lord deck profile for the 2018 Banlist Post Battles of Legends Relentless Revenge. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see more deck profiles whenever a new set drops, make sure you guys go down there right now and smash that thumbs up button. That'll be absolutely amazing. And I'm actually very excited to showcase you guys this deck profile. This deck profile is actually a very fun deck for those of you who love to go into time and love to abuse the new time rule. And this deck is obviously built to go second because you guys all know their effects literally trigger off once they enter the battle phase. So if you're playing this deck and building this deck to go first, I don't understand why you're playing Time Lords. By the way, guys, if you guys have not gotten your hand on the double cloth Sasser playmat, make sure you guys get it today. I do free shipping in Canada and USA. International shipping may cost extra, and these playmats are really hot and are going to be up for a limited time only. So get it while you guys still can. I'm telling you guys right now, these mats look really beautiful, especially in person. And I also have my 140,000 subscriber playmat available as well. So if you guys want to help support the channel, make sure you guys get that playmat. That'll be absolutely amazing. That playmat has the 3 amazing Sky Strikers on it: Kagari, Hayate, and also the Shizuku. To start out with the monster, you want to play the brand new Time Lord monster that recently came out in Battles of Legends Relentless Revenge. And the first monster you want to start off is, of course, Mikion, the Time Lord. This card is absolutely amazing. Basically, all the Time Lords gains effect once they enter the battle phase. So after the battle phase, they usually have special effects to return cards to the deck, to deal life points, etc. But this card has a really amazing effect, especially with this new time procedure that Yu-Gi-Oh has implemented, that Konami has implemented, which I believe is one of the dumbest time rules ever. But the effect basically reads that when this card attacks at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, half of your opponent's life points. So can you imagine, going to game 2 or game 3, if you're already up 1 game, there's like 2 minutes left in the clock, you summon this card, enter battle phase, attack, your opponent has a response, you literally just deal 4,000 damage directly to your opponent if your opponent was at 8,000. So this card is just absolutely insane. Definitely one of the best Time Lords in the deck. You can easily access this card directly from your deck to your hand of Time Maiden. I only have 2 copies of this card. If you guys watch my opening video, I only pulled 2, but if I had a third one, I'll definitely try to implement it into the deck 100%. You obviously do not want to play one, you just want to see this card in your hand, especially during situations where life actually matters. Next off, you're going to play, of course, double Zaphion. I believe Zaphion is one of the better Time Lord monsters in the deck. If you guys don't know what Zaphion does, basically at the end of the battle phase, you basically get to shuffle all your opponent's spawn trap cards directly to the deck, and if this card leaves the field, you basically get to draw 1 card, which is really amazing, really powerful back then in the True Draco format. But decks like Altergeist in today's metagame, they utilize a lot of back row, so shuffling their back row into the deck. At the same time, deck like Sky Strikers like to set a lot of back row as well. So Zaphion, the Time Lord, is just really amazing against those certain matchups. I definitely recommend you guys on actually playing this card. One of the better Time Lords in the deck, in my personal opinion. Next off, we're going to play, of course, double Lazion. This card is amazing. All Time Lords has the same primary effect, and the really good thing about this card effect is that at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, shuffle all cards from your opponent's graveyard into the deck. Especially decks like Sky Strikers, which they are relying on actually having spell cards in the graveyard. This card can become really powerful against that certain matchup. This card is obviously the best monster to actually go first if your opponent makes you go first, and that's why I decided to actually play 2 copies of this card. This card effects reads that once per turn, if your opponent draws a card, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. So worst comes to worst, if your opponent were to go first, you can just easily normal summon this card, and then during your opponent's draw phase, they draw 1 card, they lose 1,000. So especially going to the time, that 1,000 can actually become very beneficial. And next off, we're going to play, of course, double Zadion, the Time Lord. This card is absolutely amazing. It has a 4,000 attack and 4,000 defense. The only bad thing about this card is that Time Maiden cannot access this card directly from the deck because it has a 4,000 attack stat and 4,000 defensive stat. This effect reads that neither player takes battle damage from an attack involving this card. At the end of the battle phase, if this card battle, inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. So another Time Lord monster that actually helps inflict damage to your opponent. So this card can actually help trample over any monster, which is really awesome because it has a beefy stat. So cobbling this card off with Mikion is just absolutely amazing to just potentially deal up to 6,000 damage in just 1 turn. Next off, for your 1-ups, you're going to play, of course, the Gabrion, the Time Lord. This card is actually really good against decks that utilize the extra deck because the effect reads that during the end of the battle phase, if the card attacks, shuffle all cards back into the decks, and then your opponent draw the same amount of cards, shuffle back into the main deck. So basically, if your opponent has the whole entire U board extra link, you can just summon this card, basically return their entire extra deck into the deck, and your opponent cannot draw, because to be able to draw, this card has to return cards into your opponent's main deck. So this card is actually really good. A searchable card, card out to the extra link boards. 1 Rafi on the Time Lord. You guys don't know his effect. If this card battled, inflict damage to your opponent equal to attack of 1 monster your opponent controls that battled with this card this turn. So usually attack the highest monster, activates the effect, select the highest monster's attack, and just deal damage to your opponent depending on the attack of that monster that you battled, which is really awesome. So Rafi on the Time Lord. Next off, you don't play the OG, the 1 meta on the Time Lord. This card battled, basically return all the monsters to the hand, and if you knew, inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each card return, which is really awesome. So this card, the OG Time Lord. And then last but not least, for the big big Time Lord monster you're going to play, of course, Cammy on the Time Lord. If this card attacks, you can shuffle one card your opponent controls into the deck. This effect does not target, which is really, really awesome. And if you do inflict 500 damage to your opponent, neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation, which is really good. So it's actually able to help deal with any problematic monster, and it's a monster that doesn't target, which is really awesome. And then last but not least, you're playing triple Time Maiden, which is like, you know, one of the best search cards in the deck, obviously. This card completes the deck. If you guys do not know what Time Maiden does, that if you control no monsters, you can easily special summon this card from your hand. This card becomes 2 tributes for a tribute summon of a Time Lord monster, and its effect reads that you can tribute this card, add 1 Time Lord monster with 0 attack from your deck to your hand, and you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon 1 Time Lord monster with 0 attack from your deck, ignoring its summoning condition. You cannot special summon other monsters during the turn you activate this effect. So triple Time Maiden, definitely a must-off. You can obviously easily Foolish Burial this card directly from the deck to the graveyard, so that way you can easily access this card's effect from the grave. Next off, we're going second cards, because this deck is a going second deck. You want to play hand traps, you want to play a triple Drone Lockbird. This card is amazing, the best hand traps in today's metagame right now. Really good against Sky Strikers, Pendulums, you know, the best hand trap against Pendulums, obviously, and then really good against Gookie, most importantly. So Drone Lockbird, really powerful card. And last but not least, you want to play triple Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. You know, this deck is a going second deck. You should never go first with this deck. If you win the die roll, you want to go second all the time, because you want to utilize the Time Lord's effect to its full potential. So Ghost Reaper is just really good to actually help any, you know, negate. So Ghost Reaper is really good to actually help negate any problematic extra deck monsters like Electromite, you know, cards like Dante, ABC Dragon Buster, you guys name it. This card literally hits everything. I love to play really aggressively with this deck, so I'm playing cards like triple Celestial Transformation. If you guys know what this card does, is that special summon 1 fairy monster from your hand. That monster attack is half, and also is destroyed during the end phase. The attack of it is half, doesn't matter, because all your Time Lord monster has 0 attack. You just sometimes want to put as many body on the board as possible. If you can somehow get Sadion and also make it on the board by using, you know, Celestial Transformation, you can essentially deal up to 6,000 damage in 1 turn, which is really good, depending on how much your opponent's life point is. You know, with you know, Celestial Transformation and also Mikion or Stadion, you basically deal 6,000 to your opponent if they have 8,000 life points, which is really good. So I love to play aggressively with this deck going second. So Celestial Transformation is definitely needed in the deck. Triple Advanced Draw, really good with Celestial Transformation as well. You can go Celestial Transformation, and then you go attack. You know, Dream Main Phase 2, activate Advanced Draw. You know, send the monster to the grave, draw 2 cards, which is really, really nice. And obviously, guys, with Celestial Transformation, it says destroy during the end phase. All your Time Lord monsters cannot be destroyed battle by card effects, so Celestial Transformation doesn't kill the card whatsoever. So essentially, it's a free summon for your Time Lord monsters, and Advanced Draw is literally a free draw for your Time Lord monsters as well. So next off, for your 1, I was going to play the 1 Foolish Burial to get access to Time Maiden as quickly as possible. 1 for 1 to get access to Time Maiden as well. And then last but not least, the 1 Monster Reborn to reborn your Time Lord monsters from your graveyard. Trap, guys, you're going to play Triple Empty Machine. This card is the new card that came out of Battles of Legends, Relentless Revenge. If you guys do not know what this card does, is that the first time this face card will be destroyed, it is not destroyed. It has an amazing ability where you can discard 1 level 10 monster from your hand, draw 1 card. And it also has an amazing secondary ability, which reads that if this is the only card in your spell and trap card zone, target 1 Time Lord monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, then you can set 1 Infinite Machine directly from the deck. You always just want to play 1 copy of Infinite Machine. And if you guys do not know what Infinite Machine does, is that activate this by sending 1 face-up empty machine from your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard. Once returned, this face-up card cannot be destroyed by your opponent card effects. Once returned, you can activate 1 of these effects. During your main phase, you can special 1 Time Lord monster from your hand. So it's a free summon for your Time Lord monsters. So these 2 combinations, so these 2 cards combo off really well with each other, and you can target 1 Time Lord monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, then you can set 1 Infinite Light directly from your hand or deck. And you obviously want to play the 1 copy of Infinite Light. You basically never want to draw this card. You know, these 2 cards, you obviously just want to search it using by starting off with Empty Machine. Infinite Light is obviously the best one, but it's the hardest to pull off because you have to go Empty Machine, Infinite you know, Machine, and then you have to go into Infinite Light. But Infinite Light effect basically reads that activate this card by sending face-up Infinite Machine to the graveyard, and this face-up card, you know, cannot be destroyed, you know, by your opponent card effects. Neither player can target Time Lord monster you control with card effects at all, or return Time Lord monster from your field to the deck. Okay, so, you know, as long as Time Lord monster on the floor, once returned, if you control no monsters, you can special up to 1 Time Lord monster each from your hand, deck, and or graveyard with different names ignoring their summoning conditions. So as long as you, so if you can somehow, you know, trap climb up to this card, you're pretty much just gonna win the duel because of how broken this Infinite Light effect is. So that's, I believe, is the perfect ratio. Triple Empty Machine, 1 Infinite Machine, and 1 Infinite Light. It really sucks to actually draw these cards without seeing Empty Machine and things like that. So, you know, I believe that, you know, the solid 5 is definitely more than enough. Off to your staples, I'm playing Triple Trento Tribute. this card is like one of the best trap cards in the deck, and it's also a really good card going second as well, because you know, you go second, set this card, you wait for your opponent to summon, and then you just kill them, and then while you have a Time Lord monster on the board, your Time Lord monster can't obviously die because their effect cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. So you want to utilize this card, you know, with the deck to its full advantage, obviously. And last but not least, you know, for more your going second cards, you're going to play the Infinite Impermanence card. Is absolutely amazing. You know, it's just essentially another hand trap, and your opponent want to make you go first, you can set this. It just, you know, acts as an effect veiler, which is really awesome. That's pretty much it for the main deck, guys. Main deck is always up to personal preference of what you guys want to play. Just be sure to use my deck list as a guide to what you guys can play in your own deck. For your extra deck, the card that you're probably going to make the most is probably, you know, Super Dreadnought, Rail Cannon, Gustav, Max, obviously. But the rest, you're obviously, you know, playing for the Sherry's target, Nightmare Phoenix, Hextia. You can literally play anything. Like, the whole entire deck is just Sherry's target, man. Firewall, Electrum, Goblin, Izol, you know, Sky Striker, Suzuku, Kagari, Borlode, Gumblar Dragon. This card is actually really scary because, you know, Goki can easily abuse this card. And then last but not least, you're going to play the ABC Dragon Buster and the one Crystal Wing Single Dragon to basically just round off your extra deck. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Crystal Wing is actually, you know, if your opponent were to get it out, you know, especially decks like Blue Eyes, you basically have no out to it. So, you know, having, you know, cherries to out the Crystal Wing, it's just really good. It's just in case, you know, the extra deck is all to personal preference, but they're just mostly cherries targets for your, you know, winter cherries. So, because some people do question me, you know, and ask me about this, why I play all these cards when I can't make it, but the sole reason being is because of this card. And, you know, since your deck is built to go second, cherries is the best in this deck, obviously. So that's pretty much it for the deck profile, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. It'll be absolutely amazing. And this is Sam from Team Sam signing out. All right, guys. Peace.